We'll start with that developing situation in Ukraine in a few minutes, but first we stay focused on the home front and the domestic border war here. High-ranking government officials say Congress cannot wait without help soon. Our immigration court system could collapse. There are also new developments on the president's emergency request for nearly $4 billion. Namely, it doesn't look like the president is going to get anything close to what he wants to deal with this problem. Meantime, Senator Jeff Sessions of Alabama, one of the loudest critics of the upper chamber's efforts on immigration reform, urged all of Congress to reject President Obama's $3.7 billion emergency request to address the illegal immigration crisis. Obama's plan includes money for immigration judges, detention facilities, and other resources, but Sessions says the White House plan will only make things worse for the rest of us.
We need rising wages, not falling wages. We can't help those living here today if we keep bringing in record numbers of new workers to compete for their jobs, to drive up unemployment, and that pull down wages. And that's just fact.
Well, the most recent numbers say the most recent reports rather say the numbers are shrinking, but still tens of thousands of illegal immigrants, many of them minors, have been arrested in South Texas by Border Patrol agents. And the backlog in the federal immigration court system now stands at some 375,000 cases and growing each day. Some of the new arrivals are having their court dates scheduled for as far off as 2018. Miranda?
And the main way these unaccompanied illegal children are entering the U.S. is through smuggling rings, a method that Deputy Attorney General Cole says is a threat to public safety and creates a serious humanitarian concern.
We have encountered smuggled aliens that have been kidnapped, taken hostage, beaten, sexually assaulted, threatened with murder, or have died as a result of the conditions en route.
And on Newsmax.com, two of the nation's top law enforcement officials handling the immigration mess slammed Congress and Obama. One sheriff says their inaction to address the crisis is a joke.
Well, in Georgia, David Perdue, a former CEO of Reebok and Dollar General, is one huge step closer to the United States Senate. Perdue defeated longtime Republican Congressman Jack Kingston in the U.S. Senate runoff in the Peach State.
I really believe there are a lot of people who are looking at what's going on in Washington and they think that need change. And nobody believes that the founding fathers ever imagined the rise of the career politician. And I think a lot of people are coming on to that bandwagon.
Well, Perdue came from behind in the polls. This was kind of a surprise for a lot of folks. This is the first time he's even run for office. He'll now face Democrat Michelle Nunn in the general election in a bid to replace the retiring and well-respected Republican Saxby Chambliss, the ranking member of the Senate Intelligence Committee.
And now to Israel, where it appears some politicians go above the law despite an FAA ban on U.S. airlines to stop flying to or from Tel Aviv's international airport. U.S. Secretary John Kerry boarded the plane and flew into Israel's main airport. He's meeting with officials to discuss the ongoing ceasefire efforts. He'll also travel to Jerusalem and the West Bank to meet with lines to stop flying to or from Tel Aviv's international airport. U.S. Secretary John Kerry boarded the plane and flew into Israel's main airport. He's meeting with officials to discuss the ongoing ceasefire efforts. He'll also travel to Jerusalem and the West Bank to meet with several top leaders. The airline ban was put in place yesterday after a rocket fired from Gaza struck about a mile from Israel's airport runways.
So there could be a potential 4 victims here. We'll work to get more information on this and what it's going to mean for the broader crisis playing out throughout the day. Also, planes carrying victims' bodies from the Malaysia Airlines crash left Ukraine today, and Ukraine attended. Most of the crash victims, of course, are Dutch, and U.S. officials say the plane was probably shot down by a missile, but most likely an accident.